Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today for today's webinar. My name is Dylan Fisher. I'm one of the regional sales managers here at McCormick Systems. The purpose of today's demonstration is to show you some of the highlight features in McCormick Pro. So, of course, this is our flagship estimating package. It's flagship estimating with the built-in on-screen takeoff Design Estimating Pro. It also includes change order tracking. So really, again, the purpose for this the webinar today is to show all of you McCormick users out there that have anything less than McCormick Pro. So some of the other products out there you might be working with are called the Win 1000, the Win 3000, the Win 4000, and then also you might have what we call McCormick. So we've had some changes to the product names and offerings, but again, today is really for our McCormick users who don't have the best that McCormick has here to offer you. So yeah, I'm taking you through all of the differences, and encourage you all to reach out afterwards if there's additional questions or if there's more information we can provide you. To start here, you should be looking at my job screen. So this might look different than what you've got because it is in Pro, it is customizable. So you'll see that these folders up here at the top are labeled. These are customizable to the user. So you can create, I believe, up to 16 of these folders, and you can label them whatever you want. So these are going to help you keep your jobs organized. There's no data limitations in McCormick Pro in terms of how many jobs you can create and manage within the system at one time. So with that being said, it's important you have a good way to keep those organized. Within the folders, these details also become customizable in Pro. So you'll see I've added some custom details here. These details can give me a quick snapshot on what's happening inside of these jobs. Also, I'm able to search and sort and filter by any of these details here. So I can, just start typing in a name here. For example, I just want to see the jobs that are in process. It's going to, filter the list down to show me just the jobs that are in process. Or, I can sort the jobs by user. I can see all my jobs here at the top. So again, this is all customizable to the user. An example of a custom detail I see a lot of our users adding is like an internal job number. McCormick, of course, assigns jobs with a job number from the system, but you might have like internal job numbers that you track jobs with. So that might be something you add here. We also collect this information here from the job screen, and we build these what we call executive dashboards, which is kind of like high-level reports in terms of what's happening inside of McCormick. So I'll go ahead and show you that. So I have some sample dashboards here. These are also customizable. I'll show you this one here. It's division breakdown. So again, it's pulling some of that information from my job screen in terms of how my jobs are sorted. So now I can see, here's all the jobs in the system that are in the residential folder versus commercial and industrial. These are kind of neat because you can drill down on the slices here. So I can see, like, for example, this Chandler renovation job, it's about 6% of the pie overall. It does show me the sell price here. I can click on this slice to drill down on that job by itself. It's showing the job cost distribution here in this little pie chart. It's also showing me the sell price, labor hours, price per square foot, and hours per square foot. And you can drill down a little further on some of these, like the labor distribution. So again, just really some high-level reports, customizable in terms of how you view these. Another major difference is the labels. So with McCormick Pro, it does open it up to 5 columns. In this example job here, I'm only using the 3. If you're a McCormick user, you're capped out at the 3, and you have a limit on how many lines you can go down in each column. So again, depending on the level you have now, maybe you've reached those limitations, maybe you haven't. But in McCormick Pro, it is unlimited in terms of how many lines you can go down in each column. So, so that really opens up the door if I'm providing a lot of options, if I'm coming back to do a lot of change orders, no limits here in McCormick Pro. Within this one job, I could have 20 options, 1,000 change orders, no limitations. Now, another advantage to the McCormick Pro, while we're on the topic of change orders, is that we do take the change orders a step further. The change order in any system you have, you can do a change order. It starts with the label, it ends up in the bid summary the same way as the base bid. With Pro, we do take the change orders a step further. We have change order tracking. So I'll show you that once we get into the bid summary portion of the program. All right, so in takeoff, there's quite a few differences here. If you're a Win 4000 user, you do have the ability to use these adjust quantity, adjust multiplier, and adjust labor factor cells. So you can make those types of adjustments in the audit trail. If you have anything less than the Win 4000, you don't have those editing capabilities. So that can be kind of handy. We can just change a quantity here right in the audit trail. We can adjust the labor factor in the audit trail after the fact, versus if I forgot to take it off with the factor. And then of course, material multipliers, that's used for like parallel runs. We can of course take off with material multipliers, and or we can make the adjustment here in the audit trail after the fact. Now, you do open up all of the advanced audit trail options at the bottom of the audit trail here. So I'll speak briefly about what some of these do. This is a filtering option here. It allows me to view the takeoff in the audit trail, different ways. One way is to see in fact, what it defaults to is to show me only takeoff for the current label set that I'm working on. So it's, right now I'm on Office A Power. It's only showing me Office A Power takeoff. But, I can change that to say, I want to see, all the takeoff for the entire job, just job assemblies, versus permanent, things like that. And then some additional kind of filtering options here. The summarize button is nice. I have an example to show you here. I have some 3 number 12 half-inch EMT steel set screw with the strap taken off here 1,200 feet. And then I took off an additional 650 feet here. So what summarize will do is it'll just push that into one line. So if you have multiple pieces of takeoff on the same part, it just combines everything into totals for viewing purposes. If you have multiple users, then this is a big deal here. By default, the My Takeoff checkbox is checked, and you don't have the ability to uncheck that in the lesser systems. In this system, I can uncheck it. If there was any other users that have done takeoff on this job, I'm able to view their takeoff in the audit trail. All takeoff is visible on the drawings, but in order to see other users takeoff in the audit trail, you need that filtering option. Also, you have the ability to add notes in the audit trail. This is just to turn on the notes so that they're visible. To actually add a note, you hit this notes button here. And you can actually create a list of common notes to quickly insert. Here I'm just adding one on the fly. I'll hit insert. It puts it at the top. You also get the advanced capabilities to range edit anything in the audit trail. So, for example, if I wanted to apply a labor factor to everything in this audit trail, I could apply a range edit, rather than addressing them one at a time. change label set, that's going to open up the audit trail to essentially 2 audit trails. So this is the active label set I'm working on, and then I can choose a different area. For example, I'll choose a different area here. This is pretty handy. You have the ability to copy takeoff between audit trails and or move it. So if I accidentally did some takeoff under Office A that I meant to put into Office B, you can select lines and move it. And then again, you can also copy as well. So if I have multiple, maybe floor 2 is similar to floor 1, I could copy floor 1, take off to floor 2. So that's pretty handy too. Now, for those of you who use the workspace feature, which is it is available to you in the McCormick level, in the Win 3000 level, Win 4000 level, but it does put a limit on how many windows you can open at one time. The workspace feature is essentially the ability to open up multiple instances of the database at one time, and then create like a shortcut to get back to it. So it's a speed feature, speeds up the process in terms of getting to the material quickly. So in Pro, there's no limit. I've got 4 database windows open here. You could you could fill up your whole screen with as many as your screen can handle. So I could open up like 20 of these windows here. I could point them each to specific areas of the database, and then I could snapshot that and use it anytime I want. So the workspace feature becomes unlimited in the McCormick Pro. Now, another thing I want to mention here before I move on, not only is that workspace feature unlimited on the estimating side, but there's a favorites list option in the Design Estimating Pro in the takeoff. Really, the Design Estimating Pro is the same no matter which level of estimating you pair it with. The only difference is that the favorites list option becomes unlimited in Pro. So that's just where you can create. It kind of works like the hot list, where you can activate parts from on screen from that list on screen versus coming to the estimating program. So that becomes unlimited. You can create as many favorites lists as you want. So between the workspace feature here on the estimating side and the favorites list option on screen, that's potential to save a lot of time in terms of getting to your materials quickly. All right, now in extension, all of these reports become customizable. So a good example of when you might want an option to customize an extension report. These are all the pre-built reports McCormick started me with. Here's an example of a custom report. This is my supplier report. So I'm using one of the pricing service to get live supplier price updates job to job. In Pro, Pro is the only level that allows you to compare multiple suppliers side by side, and then we can even cherry pick between them. So I'll show you a quick sample of that. So of course this requires the the add-on option to the pricing service, but using my custom report here, I'm going to go ahead and run my update and view the supplier's prices all side by side. Now, there's other details you might want to add to a custom report. Some users want to see like catalog numbers here or UPC codes here. So really any specification in the database can be added to the report to be visible here. I'm going to go ahead and apply this. So again, in the other systems, you're really only able to view one supplier price at a time, whereas here I'm viewing all. There's no limit. I'm using 3, but from here we have the ability to cherry pick. I can select. I could do what we call a manual cherry pick, where I select the lines kind of manually and say, okay, I want I want to use this material pricing from this supplier. I want to use this material pricing from this supplier. So that's a manual cherry pick. We also have an auto cherry pick option here where McCormick will pick the best prices for me. So that's pretty handy. Now, again, these reports are all become customizable to you in terms of what is visible on the report, what information is visible on the report. Another thing I want to mention is that in the database itself, the specifications become customizable in Pro. So what I mean by that is like the built-in material pricing and labor units. Of course, you can modify the information that's already there. You can change information that's already in those cells, but in Pro you can actually add custom cells, custom specifications. So you could have, maybe you want additional change order labor levels or additional pricing levels or custom codes or what have you. That becomes possible in Pro, and as a result of those customized specifications, you can create custom reports to reflect that. Also in Pro, all of these options here in the update ribbon are unlocked. Essentially, these give me full control over what happens to this report. As many of you know, when you move from extension to bid summary, the report is unlinked and locked to protect your work. Of course, you have the ability to come back and unlock it and relink it. Sometimes you want to preserve changes. Sometimes you might want to come back to this job 6 months later and just update prices and keep everything else the same. So in situations like that, again, in Pro, you have full access to everything in the update ribbon for full control. All right, so in the bid summary, not a whole lot of differences here. The only difference with the Pro is that you can create custom job cost categories. So these are the job cost categories McCormick started me with. Maybe I want an indirect job expense folder. So you can create, custom folders here in Pro. And then really the last thing I want to point out is the change order tracking. I've got some change orders on this job here for example's sake. I'm going to go ahead and open up the change order tracking module here from the ribbon. So again, this is part of the Pro. Right now it's showing me all the jobs that have change orders on them. I'm going to simplify this to show me just the job I'm in. So this is the job I'm in. These are the 3 change orders associated. If you follow the line across, we're tracking everything. We're showing the change order numbers, of course, status, submitted, approved, pending, dates here. We can set alarms. If you set an alarm here, we'll give you like a pop-up reminder. Also percent accepted, price, of course, cost, return, hours, who did it, when they did it, and so on. We're also giving you all of these totals down here at the bottom. So right now it's giving me totals for these 3 change orders associated with this one job. Of course, I could select all jobs or select some jobs and McCormick will automatically give me totals for that. You also have the ability to create change order proposals right from this change order dashboard. And the options are pretty neat for those of you who have to provide, let's say, itemized change order proposals. I'll show you a quick example here. This is a sample template that we start you with, of course, customizable to you, but many of our users have to provide more detail on a change order. This one here is itemized, showing the material pricing and labor units. So again, this is just a sample template. You have tons of options here in terms of what's visible. If you don't have to provide the itemized breakdown, we can uncheck that box. And there's many other options as well. So thanks again for joining me today for today's quick webinar. Hopefully you've seen some feature enhancements that could benefit you. Again, if there's any questions, if there's anything more we can provide in terms of information, pricing, please feel free to reach out. Give us a call at 800-444-4890. You can ask for Dylan. Also, Patrick handles most of our client sales. Yeah, we'd love to speak with you and see if this is something that could benefit you. I'll leave it open here for a few minutes to see if any questions pop up. Otherwise, thanks again for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your day.